Best advice I got when I was starting to do this was from one of my brother-in-laws. His name was Allison Lee, and he's world renowned for his art. They call him Snowhawk. He said, Aaron, are you going to do this as a way of making money now? I said, I love doing it. He goes, well, if you're going to get into this business, you better do something that no one else is doing, and you better do it better than anybody else, he said. And then you'll succeed, he said.
And you're doing pretty good for yourself.
I'm doing pretty good, you know. The thing is anybody can copy me. I don't care if anybody copies me. I don't give a shit. Because these ideas have already been done more than once. They have.
Yeah.
You know, thousands of years ago, 100 years, someone already did it, so it's not mine. It only becomes yours when you do it better than everybody else. So it don't bother me, man. You know, and they got to carve everything like I do.
Yeah.
So I don't have that. So everybody that buys an Aaron Anderson knows they're going to get a rock, and they're going to get an authentic Aaron Anderson.
Yeah.
Everybody can copy this. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
But they're going to have to carve it too. Yeah, they're going to have to carve it too, you know.
Yeah.
I went into tufa casting because my dad, my grandfather, that's a picture of my grandfather right there. But he was a silversmith too, and so was my grandma Grace, his wife. And my dad, you know, my dad started learning the process of casting too, which is tufa casting. And it just became natural to me. I got into this just because I don't have a boss, and I'm not too good of a person to work like regular workers. I like doing the things I want to do. And I even get into arguments with Tim and other people that buy my stuff because I like designing what I want to design. I don't like, they just tell me a bracelet or they just tell me this.
Yeah.
I don't like people telling me, oh, it's got to have this or this way or that. Bullshit. If someone tells me that, I'll still do the project, but it'll probably take me years before I get it done, you know.
Yeah. You're not
yeah, 7 months, you know.
It's like it's happened before.
Yeah. And so, silversmithing, so tufa cast, you know, I've taught a lot of people, and I don't mind teaching them. You know, but I always tell them, your concept will come about, you know, people will start recognizing your jewelry. But what I'm finding out is the people that I'm teaching start copying me, which is all right. Because it's always nice to be the leader and the innovator of something that's always been here. But, you know, as time went by, you know, even though they copy me and they do it, you know, people always say that looks like an Aaron Anderson, you know. Artist, man, I don't care how much silver goes up to. This is what I love doing, and this is what keeps me sober. I've been sober for a little over 4 years now from alcohol. But this is much more than just making money. To me, it's a passion, and I love it. I can't just sit around and not do it. You know, I'll sit there and dabble and start carving something. Or you know what, people want to buy it, you know. But this is truly a passion. And that concept, like Daryl and me and Lester, it separated those guys that are just in it for the money from those guys that are truly making art.
Yeah.
I talked to this one friend of mine. He's an avid, you know, collector and everything. He told me, he goes, Aaron, you know, how is this thing hurting you? I said, I don't really see it hurting me. I said, I've had to raise my prices a bit, but the sales are still there. He goes, that's great, he said, because I can tell you one thing, that collectors never leave, he said. Collectors will always have money to spend. The only way they're going to spend their money on you, though, is that your ideas and the way you make jewelry has got to get better, he said. So I had a choice. I had to get better, and I had to make better quality jewelry because the collector wasn't going to leave. Because he started looking at it as an investment now,
right.
You know, and it was no longer just to help support the Indian. It was, you know, this is an investment. Let's buy some real art now. I love making things heavy. I like making things, you know, I like real sharp points, and I like things that are real, you know, I don't know. Just the way I look at art, it's real. I don't know, it becomes an Aaron Anderson, that's all I can say. Even a little pendant, even a little tiny ring, everything has a block with it. Everything. If someone tries to sell you an Aaron Anderson and they don't have a block, then they probably lost the rock, or I don't know. And when I do make replications, there's another stamp that I'll put in the back of it to know that it's a replication, you know.
Okay.
But it's always going to be limited. It's not going to be like, you're not going to see like 5 or 6 of them or even 3 of them. The chances of there only being 2 is what you'll only see.
Yeah.
You know? So, you know, and a lot of my stuff do have stories with it, but it's been so cheesy to tell them because I've seen so many artists tell these magnificent stories to people just to sell a piece.
Yeah.
And that pisses me off, man. That's not right, you know. But I don't go off, start telling people a story about something just to sell something.
Yeah.
That ain't right, man. I think the piece that you make and how it looks and everything else like that, that should do all the talking for you. And if you have to talk for that piece to sell it, then you're probably not doing your work very well. You know?
Would you say that most pieces that you make do have a strong meaning behind it?
Oh yeah, a lot of them do. I mean, if they didn't, then I probably wouldn't be doing it, you know.
Yeah. Do you have any advice for people that are trying to find work done by authentic Native American artists?
Thing that is real nice is for them to know is if they can find that artist, that person that made it. But then that also goes to say with some artists too. They'll use block, they'll use Sturm nickel, and then they'll say it's authentic just because they're into it. You know, that's all bullshit, you know. And if the price is too low and looks too low, and then it's probably not real, you know.
Yeah.
The best thing to do is try and create a relationship with a certain artist. Then you know it's right. Then you know it's good, you know. And I know it's hard for some people that are just getting into collecting. But if you can go to like a reputable, you know, one of these traders or someone,
yeah,
they usually have the authentic stuff.
Yeah.